We are right next to the CBS Sports set right here at the NFL Combine. I'm alongside Pete Prisco, the CBS Sports HQ NFL analyst. Got to put the HQ in there because you guys are 24/7 streaming right now.
All day and all night.
All day and all
are.
night. Yes, you can definitely check them out on the CBS Sports app or CBSSports.com. Now, Pete, your article recently came out with the 100 top free agents of the season. 2 in the top 5 are Minnesota Vikings. What made you, kind of come to that conclusion?
Well, first, the quarterback. He's the best player. Look, is he play his position better than some of the other guys? No. But the position of value is why he's number 1. And Kirk Cousins has had some really good season with the Vikings. And if I were the Minnesota Vikings, I would do everything in my power to make sure he's still playing for the Minnesota Vikings.
What do you think it will take?
Guaranteed money, big contract, better contract than he can get somewhere else. But I think, in the end, Kirk would probably be more comfortable going back to Minnesota. I think his family likes it there. I think it makes sense. So I think it's a marriage that needs to be made, and I think it's one that will get made.
How do you see Justin Jefferson's future unfolding in Minnesota?
Well, I think you'd be unwise to allow him to get out the building. There's only so many guys that can do what he can do. So I do think they'll figure out a way to get a deal done, and they should figure out a way to get a deal done. It used to be there were 4 or 5 dominant positions. You had to have the passer, the pass rusher, the corner, and the guy who protected the quarterback. 4. Now it's 5. You have to have the big play wide receiver. Justin Jefferson's that guy, so they cannot allow him out the building.
He most definitely is. We've talked about a couple of free agents that you mentioned on your list. Is there a name outside of the top 2 that everyone seems to be talking about that you think the Minnesota Vikings need to hold on to or prioritize?
Well, where do you count Danielle Hunter as one of the top 2? Yeah. I mean,
I would. So outside of those 2.
No, I don't think there's a real priority for the rest of them, but I do think when you look at those 2, I would keep a strong, hard look at keeping both of them. I mean, again, I go back to what I said, quarterback, pass rusher. You have 1 and 2. And Danielle Hunter's he's been one of those guys who's been very productive in his career.
Definitely.
And it's hard to replace that.
Definitely.
DJ Wanham's another guy. When you look at him, I think down the line guy, younger player. I know he got hurt at the end of last year. Younger player, can rush the passer. Teams need that, so I think he's a guy, down the line guy.
DJ Wanham, a big part of Brian Flores' defense within the Minnesota Vikings. His first season as the coordinator there, they were able to retain him this year for his second season. What do you expect from him in year 2?
Well, I think Brian Flores did a great job last year. I really do. I think he might have been one of the best hires in the entire league. And Brian Flores is a heck of a defensive coach. I mean, he gets after it. He's aggressive. He throws so many different looks at you. I love what they did last year. I think that, again, there were a time last year where they said, who was the best assistant coach hiring in the league? And I said Brian Flores was.
That was very astute, I would have to say.
Yeah.
I would have to say. And when you look at the draft picture as a whole, what is the largest area of need for the Vikings?
Well, I think when you look at them, you have to look at the defense, and you have to get more help on that defensive line, particularly if you do lose those free agents. You have to be able to rush the passer, so you have to look at the defensive line. I think on the offensive side, you could get some help on that offensive line. You can never go wrong drafting big people. There's only so many big people that can play in this league, and so I think you have to look at big people.
As I mentioned before, CBS Sports' Combine coverage continues. They are a 24/7 streaming access channel. And so, Pete, I must ask you, when you're out here at the Combine, what's your favorite part? What do you like to look at? What are you looking for?
I just like to, talk to a lot of the executives and the personnel people and everything like that. I don't get much out of the workouts. I'm a tape guy. I watch the tape.
Yeah.
And so if I see it on tape, then it translates up here. I don't get so much into the workouts.
So it's all about the networking for you.
And by the way, great wide receiver coach in Minnesota.
I would say so too.
Just ask him. I love you, Keenan, but just ask him.
We'll tell him hello for you.
I love Keenan. One of my
Thank you so
favorites.
much. Pete Prisco with CBS Sports HQ's NFL analyst joining us here from the NFL Combine.